one day, LeBron James was playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Randomly got Uber SUV order from Four Seasons Hotel. I pull over there, 3 bodyguards. One of the seat front, 2 of them back. Oh my God, who are them? Like, you know what I mean? The guy with the hood, and he started talk on the back. I heard that voice before, you know what I mean?
That dark, deep voice.
LeBron. When I understand that he's LeBron James, the bodyguard next to me looking at me like that, you know what I mean? Oh my God, I'm driving the most expensive players in my car to the RPM Steakhouse, okay?
But the government in Italy, and in most of Europe, they're not betting with real. See, America, the difference that America's system, economy is around real estate. In Europe, it's not like that. They really, my cousins buy a house, it's like their house forever. But there's no money. This is not that complicated, you know? It's not like they're buying a Trump Tower, and regular people want to connect with somebody they could trust. Their whole life savings is in that one house. Dude, I remember my dad back in the day, that's all he had.
Why would Compass want my agent only to share it with
that's
their office?
They're saying like because they have exclusive inventory, so if people work with Compass, they get all the exclusive listings.
Right.
Kind of like what Europe do. Europe does that, sorry, but it's crap. The big offices want to stay, and the little office just doesn't have no hope.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 48 of the XR Realty Podcast. Today I'm here at Rocky Patel's, and I'm here with our new agent, ERay. Welcome.
Hey guys. Yeah.
Greg's here, of course. Welcome. We got Carlos running the show in the back. Yep. We appreciate him.
You know, and we're having a little bourbon.
Yep. And some ginger ale.
I mean, you're having ginger. I'm having
some ginger ale. Yeah.
I got bourbon too.
I got bourbon too. Right?
But hey, man, salute and welcome to the team.
Yes.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I know you many years now.
Yeah.
I know many years, and it's crazy the whole story. You know, I just want to talk about you for a little bit, right? Before we get to the juice of the topics we're going to talk about. I'm so happy you're with me. It's crazy.
Crazy.
It started as a friend, right?
Yeah.
So just for the people at home,
yeah,
he was my Uber driver. So I met him. You know, I love Uber. Don't get me wrong. I made a relationship with him, so I told him, hey, can we go off app?
Here you go. That's how it started. It was a rush hour. I was in West Town, so I used to live in Almond Park.
Yeah.
I got my phone was ringing like, I got a Uber SUV order, the most expensive one. But I was like 5 p.m. or something, 20 minutes is showing to pick up the order. You know, let me call. Hey, can you just wait for me? I'm 20 minutes far away. He told me, okay, got you. Just
no problem.
Be safe, no problem.
Yeah.
And it's just 2 blocks from my home. You know, why not?
Yeah.
When I met with him, he was I never forgot, like a red sport jacket, Ferrari red color, and Ferrari emblem here. But you know, he's Italian, I'm Turkish. Talking about food.
We talked the whole time.
Football, our roots, background, we are coming from our background same.
Yeah.
Then I asked Greg, hey Greg, he tipped me good. Here's my business card, you know, I can pick you up from airport, from Midway. He told me, why not?
Yeah.
Then how we started. I don't know how many drives to him,
how
many times I drove him, but it was really fun.
You were my main guy.
Yeah.
You became my main guy. And then I saw you grow too over the years. Of course, you had a good business. Your business was successful.
Yeah.
But then, you know, one time, you know, I think you picked me up one time and you're like, I'm getting married. And you had like this thing in your eyes. You were really excited. Like, you know, you were like, don't get me wrong. Before, you were like, oh, you're going out, your buddies, and that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like, I met someone. She's special. I'm like, wow. And you're like, yeah, I like her. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, calm down. I'm like, hey, relax, don't worry, you know. And then you met, you know, your beautiful wife.
Yeah.
You know, now you have a beautiful child too.
Yes.
So God bless. Moral of the story is funny because his wife was already in real estate.
Correct. Since 2017.
Right?
Yes.
And she kind of pushed you a little bit.
She was doing a real estate part-time. She has a job title, very fancy. So when she started real estate, sell family members, cousins.
Yeah.
But then after she getting really well known in our Turkish community.
Yeah.
ERay, you are so socialized, your limousine business is really good.
Yeah.
Why not? Don't want to take the real estate license?
Yeah.
I said, okay, but I didn't study like 10 years. Like I was driving.
What I think, like between the the Uber work or on real estate, at the end of the day, it's a product, right? You're learning. Don't get me wrong. You're still learning.
That's true.
You get, but at the end of the day, it's people,
Right.
right? You're dealing with people, right? Like Adam too. Adam came from a different background. He was doing traveling.
Yeah.
And I met him. He was not in real estate.
Correct.
He did a little bit. He worked for some company a little bit, and he talked to me. I'm like, listen, dude, I could tell already. You got great personality. You're well spoken. You got good heart, because I think that's huge.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of customer service. And for me, both of you have a lot of potential. I mean, you guys don't even know where you're gonna get. Trust me. I could see it. Shoot, my cigar fell off.
Yeah.
So I could see it.
Yeah.
And you can't teach that stuff.
You can't.
You can.
No.
And I met you for the first time at our party last week.
Yep.
First time I met
And I
him.
never told you nothing about him.
They told me nothing about him.
I'm like, just meet him.
And I said, to have that ability to meet someone right away and connect with them, and we talked for a long time, I said, you're going to do great as well.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah.
I like to connect the people, any kind of business, like anything, you know what I mean? I know that guy can help you or something, I'm every time energetic, and try to be positive, and I like to be socialized.
Correct.
And then my wife, that's how she pushed me like, oh, go get it,
Right.
It's funny thing, my first exam, I passed national one. I failed on the state. Usually the easier one state. I called hey, I cannot fail. I know all questions. Impossible. You guys get more money. No, you just failed. No. And my first deal was some lady in Dixon area, long time ago, 5 years ago, and she reached her out Sonai. Hey, my son wanna buy the house. Can you help him out? She said, okay. All right, go get your lead. This is your first lead. I don't have any idea about Dixon, Illinois. From Schaumburg all the way, 1 hour 40 minutes, one way. Come back 1 hour 40 minutes. Oh my God, I'm still driving, This is my first deal, but I'm still driving. And but it was a good experience for me. I go there a couple times, 3-4 times, got the inspection time, everything. I sold my first house over there in American person.
You did?
Dixon, Illinois. I don't know about Dixon, but I sold this house.
Far away from Istanbul.
Yes, far away from Istanbul, exactly.
That's great, man.
Good experience for me.
Awesome.
And my second one, Turkish family. They came from 2023. They got lottery from green card. They don't know any English.
Yes.
So I helped them to rent a place. I was there with her. The landlord was really picky.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He asked 6 months up front. They work in the Walmart. And still he was so picky. I don't want to clean the house. Just get it, whatever. And next year he told me, I want to get a house from you guys.
But at the end of the day, I think sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I think what it is people like you when you picked me up, right?
Yeah.
The reason I called you again and again, the conversation I had with my family was, I trust him.
Yes.
He's a nice guy. I could tell,
Exactly.
And that's huge. And people at the end of the day, dude, these are regular people buying houses. This is not that complicated, It's not like they're buying a Trump Tower or they're buying a big industrial property, right? And regular people want to connect with somebody they could trust.
Right.
Right.
This is their whole life savings is in that one house.
Right.
Everything. It's huge for us. We do it every day. I got multiple properties, so. But some people, dude, I remember my dad back in the day. That's all he had. His whole retirement was around that one house he bought.
Right.
So you want to work with somebody you could trust. It's that's huge.
When I pick him up first, when we talk a lot.
Yeah, we did.
Just come get connection, we clicked over there.
Yep.
Then he trusts me. That's the most important because his family there,
Yep.
Driving about trust. When I started for Uber, I was in the regular one, then after transfer the black one, get my chauffeur license.
Yep.
All about the CEO, businessman, but I drive so smooth. I don't much talk when I talk.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was managing them, and they like it,
You knew to adapt to different situations.
Then hey, your business card. Then got my private clients like Greg.
Yeah.
But the funny thing, Greg, when I know he's a realtor, but I don't have any idea about real estate. I never even check the prices, Redfin, Zillow. I don't have any of these. I have since my wife, And then I asked Greg when he get in my car, how is business? It's good, my brother. It's good, I don't know, he's a well-known or something I don't know how many sales he got, but I know I'm picking him up from big house he has, I know he's doing well, but I don't know. I feel like a regular realtor.
Yeah, I was talking like a regular guy.
He's so humble. One day he called me. Hey, I'm opening office, XR. That's address, 3809 North Harlem. Come pick me up, my agents.
Yeah.
When I go there, oh my God, this guy is like did a really good job. Like, you know, I didn't know that. Just like, you know.
Yeah.
Then when I got my license, I every time mention about my wife. I mentioned my wife to Greg. His office is so funny, positive. They are so active.
Yeah.
I'm not saying my other office was not good.
Good
It's
people.
good.
Yeah.
But for part-time, it's good. And then the energy brought me to the XR. I'm so excited.
And that's why you're here today. Look, we're doing podcasts.
My first podcast.
I mean, we want that. We want to showcase your trust, you know, out there. It's like, it's kind of like another avenue, right? Like, you know, there's so many people you could meet one-on-one, right?
Yes.
Like this, you're gonna meet this is gonna go to 1,000 people. So 1,000 people are gonna see who you are, your personality, you're trustworthy. That's pretty much why we do all this. So how long you been a realtor now?
So Greg, I got my license 2024 April.
Okay.
Since April,
Wow, this is
I
funny.
got 25 transactions.
That's huge. You've done great, but that's big. You've done a lot of numbers for that many months.
Yeah.
But now he's getting into that point, 2 years, where what happens in 2 years?
80% of agents fail.
And I think a lot is because there's a lot of pressure in this business. Burnout, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? I think it's real.
Yeah, I do.
What do you think, Adam? I know you have a little bit more experience than him.
I think he made it past the
he made it
tough
past.
point. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's going to have a lot of ups and downs, as you know. And it's hard to be self-motivated and working by yourself and all that stuff all the time.
A lot of people don't talk about it, you know?
Yeah.
We show online, like, you know me, right? You can see me always happy, nice, having a good time.
Yeah.
I'm showing that because, you know, but there's times I'm down.
Of course.
And I'm able to work it out.
Yes.
And I'm positive there's times you're down. You had to call me many times.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, there'll be weeks where it's really hard to get up and get going and to get self-motivated. And in our business, if you don't put the time in, you're not going to get anything in return.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pressure to get up every day, no matter how you're feeling. And
you kind of have that self-talk. What do you?
Yes, you have to be very self-disciplined. You have to motivate yourself.
Yeah.
You can't really complain to anybody about work. There's no one that's going to listen.
Have a purpose.
Have a purpose.
Like for me, my purpose is my kids.
Yep.
You know,
mine too. Yep.
Yours too. But you know, it's funny because I see that in you too. But now I know you a little bit, like a few years. I kind of seen all your different stages. And once you had the baby, we went to dinner. I wanted you part of my team. Yes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, let's go to dinner. I like them. I want to meet your wife. I don't know how she was.
Oh yeah, thank you.
You know, I met her. I'm like, I went home. I swear to God, I went home, talked with my wife. I'm like, man, I met his wife. She's humble too. She's nice. She's like him. I'm like, they're really cool. I'm like, I like that, you know? So far, God bless, all my team I have, they're all good people. You know, we're tracked in the same tribe, so that's really good. And I like that about you guys. And I think that's huge, you know, in my opinion.
I want to be honest, like, I like to work hard, but sometimes I can be sluggish, you know?
Yes,
but she loves to work 7/24, and she helped me to push my limits. When I see her, she was doing part-time real estate.
You did push.
She got mortgage license, and she go to hospital at 5 a.m. You know, I cannot be as a driver next to her. You know, I have to push my limit.
Nothing wrong with a driver.
No, but just.
But if you can't try to push, right? If you are driving, you're the best driver in the whole United States. That's cool. Like I told my kids, listen, you want to work at McDonald's, that's fine, but you got to become the best McDonald's worker there is in the whole United States. That's it. I don't care. You know. You just got to be the best on it.
Exactly.
And that's why you tried, and then you're like, hey, let me try even more.
I was exhausted. Good clients. I passed my good friends after that. I was just, I have a herniated disc. You are on all the way traffic.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's hard, man.
I was looking for exits before her, after her, for maybe IT or some field, But thank God she has a good network. That's really helped me my first year. If she was not next to me, I cannot get that much transactions.
And that's why after 2 years, so many people have a hard time.
That's really, I was thinking that way. I told my son, if you're not here, oh my gosh, because they don't teach you how to write a contract, other things. You have to get to learn by yourself on the field to catch the clients. Good way, I'm talking. I don't know, just she helped me live.
And you're gonna see more too. You're gonna see more where you're gonna be stressed. You're gonna feel like, oh my God, what the heck is going on? You're gonna have like 10 deals, they're gonna fall apart, people yelling you. But you gotta be strong because the client is not strong at that moment.
Exactly.
So you gotta be strong. You gotta suck it up. You gotta be strong for them.
That's true.
You can't let them know that you're not feeling motivated. You can't let them know that you're worried.
Correct.
That's true.
And once in a while we'll go, come here, have a cigar, and and release our tension that way.
And at XR we really promote people branding themselves, pushing themselves.
That's why I'm trying to really join you guys, because so active about marketing, social media.
Yep.
I was every time telling I want to join really Greg's office. The energy brought me to your office, Greg's. But I have to be ready for that. So I feel right now I'm getting that point.
You're there.
Every day I have to learn something about real estate.
Yes, bravo.
The markets can change every day,
And you have all of our contact info. You can
And talking about the market change every day. If you want to get into the market, what do you think about the market right now?
A little shaky.
Okay.
Slowing down a little bit. I feel like that's normal with this time of year.
Normal after
the spring market. Interest rates are still high. A lot of uncertainty, a lot of questions.
But I feel like in Illinois, though, the inventory is still low.
Yep.
Inventory is still pretty low.
And the crash is not going to there's no crash happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
unless something crazy happens.
Something crazy happens. So I think that, I'm still seeing houses that are going for multiple offers, over asking. Still very competitive market.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're pretty strong here compared to some other states that are seeing a very dramatic drops and fluctuations.
Florida is suffering. I mean, I do a little bit Florida, and it's low. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, it's very competitive over there, and it's dropping. Yeah, because I heard the same thing about California. Correct. Some other Austin, other cities like that.
Why Florida is tough right now? Because of too much overpricing.
I think the prices went up a lot, really fast, and I think there was a big influence of I call it the COVID rebels or something. Where they're like, and I was one too. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I was calling you all the time. I want to go and take a vacation. And a lot of people just left, right? They left New York, they left, Canada, they left all their places, and they bought up a lot of Florida. But now it's like everybody's kind of like, okay. They're like, oh, you know what? Let me keep it as a second property.
Yes.
Or let me sell it now. I want to go back, because I've seen a lot of, like, believe it or not, I've seen even people from Chicago immigrate there, and then they don't like it and they came back.
Exactly.
Now that we're open again, because Chicago, I love Chicago. Besides for the cold, I love Chicago, and a lot of people miss that when they're gone.
Seasons.
They miss the season, but they also miss it's really diverse Chicago.
Yeah.
There's different restaurants, there's different people. Besides the season, And sometimes you go to some other states and it's really like more,
the same.
Yeah. And I think people that are used to Chicago, they like that flavor.
No, the food sucks in Florida.
The food sucks, yes. Unless you pay real super high end, top dollar.
Yeah.
In Chicago, you could go a little bit like you could find a really good meal and not
Yes. And we have all
break the bank.
All different ethnicities.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think also it sounds like the insurance has gone up considerably after the last couple of storms they had.
Over there, yes.
Yeah.
A lot. I have first-hand experience where insurance double.
Wow.
Oh, and then all of a sudden there's areas that are not considered disaster areas, and now you require wind insurance, and not everybody gives wind insurance, and we're talking about like wind insurance is like $12,000 a year.
Yeah.
So you might complain about Chicago, the taxes, all this stuff, but then you go to Florida, the taxes are low, but then insurance are like
kind of same.
It's the same thing, or even worse. You gotta always run your numbers on everything you buy.
Yeah.
Maybe a good thing about Florida, so touristic place. People every time want to go to Florida.
Yeah.
Every season.
It's beautiful.
Chicago is usually maybe Christmas time and summertime, all season.
Correct.
But I love Chicago. I used to live in New York.
Oh, you did?
But I love Chicago every time. Like
you lived in New York? How long you lived in New York for?
6 months.
Okay.
First month, come to River Grove here. I pushed myself to go to New York. There was a Sandy hurricane 2012. I feel like in New York for 7 days is good, 8 days is good. Good museums, good things, but too much.
Too much.
We have a downtown in Chicago. We have a really good suburbs. I think best suburbs. I feel like
I think so too. Yeah.
I mean, you can feel wherever you want to live. You can find easily
you can
here.
Afford it.
Yep. And then still affordable than New York.
Yep.
And San Fran, different other California cities.
Yep.
I feel like Chicago have everything. Diversity. Greg's right. You can go different neighborhoods. It's amazing. Like every neighborhood has a different vibe and energy.
Yep.
From Lincoln Park to Humboldt Park, everywhere.
And I think that's what's made the market here so consistent and such a safe bet. And I think that's why we're still seeing housing staying pretty strong.
Correct.
Is that the prices might not be very astronomical, but it's still a very affordable city. Mm-hmm. Housing's still very affordable compared to other states.
100%. I think even for investors, because I like to invest in real estate, the numbers still could make sense here in Chicago. Like I had an investor today call me, and he's like, he has some money in his stock portfolio, and he wants to put it in real estate because he's like, Greg, I looked into Tennessee, I looked into Florida, I looked into California. I don't like them. It's negative. Maybe I got some appreciation, but here he could bet on appreciation, but also cash flow right away.
Yep.
And that's something not all the markets have that.
Yeah.
So I think Chicago, there's still.
I have a client who moved to Mountain View. He works for Facebook.
Okay.
And
Facebook. He works for Facebook.
Yep. And the townhouse there is like 1.2, 1.3 million.
Wow.
And after you put down a down payment, and let's say he bought it and lived there, and then wanted to move back to Illinois, and he wanted to rent it, he'd be paying out of his pocket somewhere near $1,000 a month after collecting market rent, because the prices are just so inflated compared to what you're collecting on rent and everything like that, it was running a negative. And he said that was normal there. That was okay.
It was normal, yeah.
Yeah, it was normal. Yeah. Here, I mean, if you buy an investment property and you're not cash flowing or breaking even at least, we would never touch it.
Yeah, how many properties you turned down?
Plenty.
You've been looking at investment, you send me the charts, you're like, Greg, this doesn't make sense, and you turn it down, because you want to make sure it cash flows.
Yeah, I've been looking for a 3-unit, 4-unit, 6-unit, 9.
Yeah. You'll get there.
Running numbers, everything like that. And I just, to become a part-time janitor and deal with 6 families and still lose $500 a month after putting down a large amount of money, it's been tough. It's been tough. And I understand for our clients too. That's what we do. I mean, they want to know if someone's looking to invest, talk to us. I mean, I probably ran the numbers on, 40 buildings last year. Yeah. Well, this year, I would say 30 to 40. We can pretty quickly tell you if the building's going to make money.
Correct.
With the current rents, the future rents.
Correct.
What kind of expenses you're going to expect, what kind of experience you're going to have, and really kind of help a lot of people, because some people jump into it and then they call me after 3-4 years and say, Adam, I'm tired of the tenants, I'm tired of the stress.
It's not for everybody.
That's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. Some people, they adapt more to it, and some people don't.
Yeah, some people prefer to hold stock, some people prefer to do commercial. Because they feel like it's a little less personal.
Yes, that's true.
Yep.
How you liking the cigar, guys?
I love this cigar.
It's pretty good, right?
I think this really nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
Thank you, Rocky. For letting us use the space and having great cigars at
nice lounge.
As always. Yeah,
always.
Nice lounge.
Very nice lounge. Yeah, spacious. So, what do you guys think about interest rates? I feel like we get used to that interest rate 6-7, like goes back and forth, 6-7.
It's been very, very volatile right now. I think it has a lot to do with our president's policy, current policy, and decision making.
I think the president is pushing. For this year, nothing's going to happen. Jerome Powell is still there, and he's standing strong with his ideas. The only thing is that Jerome Powell's term is coming up, and he might go away. And not that the president could influence, could push the next Fed guy, but I think
he's going to have a lot of influence.
He's going to have a lot of influence.
He will.
So I feel like next year, because with the rates, if the rates go down, the economy moves more. But then the dollar could lose a little value. So that's the problem, because it creates inflation. So it's kind of give or take, right?
Yeah.
The only thing I know throughout my 20 years of experience plus, that money in the bank loses value all the time. except for maybe that when the crisis was around 08 to 11, where the houses lost value. But besides that time, the houses always gain more value, even if you don't do nothing.
We've passed now the peak of 08. We've price-wise.
We did.
We passed.
I always say I'm pretty conservative. I wouldn't buy a negative appreciation like your buddy did in a townhome. I still want to cash flow a little bit. I want to make sure the rent, at least, if somebody works a humble job, it could cover the rent. Right. That's how I look at it. And if you do that, I feel like for the most part, you're in a good spot. Yeah. Even if something crazy happens.
So it's keeping up with inflation.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah. The real estate's keeping up with inflation. It's a hedge against inflation. So
I've had a lot of people calling me because the stock market's been very volatile. And they see their money go up, down every single day. And they say, Adam, I'd rather buy something I can hold.
Correct.
If I bought a building and the market collapsed, I'd have somewhere to live.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'd have a piece of property.
And then also rates, the thing is that, people make more money now. Like in 08, 09, 2010, I was around, I'm a little older than you guys. People did not make the same money. The minimum wage was like $10, $10. And now it's 15. So I'm not saying that 15 is good and you're going to be able to afford a $400,000 house, but that means it pushes everybody else's salary up. So maybe before average salary was 50, 60 grand, now a lot of young kids, they're making 80, 90,000.
Easily.
Easy.
And then you have two couples with two working people.
And so that's why I think that's helping out the market. That's why you still see multiple biddings. Right. You still see the inventories tight. And that's why the rates are not affecting a lot because of that. But if they keep going up, then it could change a little bit, right? If the rates keep going up or the value keeps going up, then that could disturb a little bit. But right now, I think we're in a good spot. We're in a sweet spot, I think.
I feel like it's still 6 and 7, for average.
Yeah.
If you check the global.
Yeah. And I think Jerome Powell sees that.
Yeah, not really bad. Because you're getting this loan. If you think 30 years, 10 years, 20 years.
So can I ask you a question? Because I know you're from Turkey.
Yeah.
You told the public you're from Turkey. And you're a fan of Galatasaray. We like Galatasaray.
Say hi to Galatasaray here. Yeah.
We like it.
Yeah.
How is Turkey market, real estate market?
Real estate market has been really increasing.
Okay.
But our Turkish lira losing money against dollar.
Okay.
So your house value goes up, but
that's because the value of the dollar went down.
What about the rates? What kind of rates is there?
It's I think a really more than 10% probably.
10%, right?
Yeah.
And also, one other thing, and I'll tell you about Italy. Is do they give 30-year loans?
Yeah,
they do.
They do. So right now, the Turkish lira is if you have money, if you put in bank, you will get 40% yearly interest rate back to your account.
What about how much is a good house? Like if you find a condo, a nice, decent condo, 200,000, 100.
Starting 500, 600, 600.
Really?
Good condo. Yeah, it's crazy market over there.
But is that all by the capital, Istanbul, or even the suburbs?
What about the suburbs?
Even suburbs.
Wow.
Even suburbs. Everyone's comparing Istanbul, bad neighborhood, apartments, condo versus Florida, some apartments or single family.
Okay.
They say you can get in America $500,000 with single family somewhere else,
But what about the rents? If somebody buys a $500,000 condo, how much can you really rent? How much
they're renting, but it's just crazy amount going every time up. The government support right now lessors who rent that.
Okay.
They support them. It's hard to take them from your unit,
Yeah.
You have to go to court.
Yeah,
if they don't pay or something
So in Italy, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
In Italy, some of the big cities, sorry to interrupt you, like Roma, Milano, the big cities are expensive. But if you go in the suburbs, you can find cheaper. The rents are not that high. Mm-hmm. But the government in Italy, and most of Europe, they're not betting with real. See, America, the difference is that America's system, economy is around real estate. They have so many incentives, 30-year loan.
Yes.
Buy with 3% down, or even 100%, right? There's a lot of programs right now. VA loan. There's a lot of stuff to promote ownership. In Europe, it's not like that. They really, my cousin buy a house, it's like their house forever. Like if I was a real estate, I do some real estate here and there, I nibble a little bit there, but there's no money. Like it's not a good profitable profession.
Exactly. There is no regulation kind of in Turkey, like being like a real estate agent, so easy. You can open an office, I'm a real estate agent, you know. You start to sell or get, but there is not much regulation.
But then again,
over that.
that's the funny part you're saying about regulation, because now here, we're kind of going opposite. If you think about all the new stuff, the lawsuit of last year, now this whole thing about private, public listing, we're kind of going backwards when the whole world was admiring us and loved our system. Because I remember I talked with agents over there and they're like, buyer agent, forget about it, we never get paid. We got to ask the buyer to pay us. Here, we had a compensation for many years.
Correct.
You know, right now we're still okay because the philosophy hasn't changed, but it might change.
You never know.
You know, so in Europe, they were used to be jealous for our system, but now we're changing. And now with the listings too, I don't know if the public knows, but you know, there's companies that are allowing they could keep the listing on for their own company, not put it on MLS if they want.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's something like nothing wrong, but big companies like Compass is trying, you know, keep the private listing more without putting it on MLS. And that's why there's a fight right now with Zillow and Compass. Because Zillow is saying, hey, if you're an agent and you promote the listing on Zillow, it needs to be on MLS within 3 days. If it's not, you're off. You're out of it. And they have a big say because they have a huge market share online.
And why would Compass want to have an exclusive listing just to their agents? Like, if I was a seller, why would I want my agent only to share it with their office?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. As you as a seller, you as a little boutique, we think a little different.
But what I'm saying, but what is the advantage?
They're saying like because they have exclusive inventory, so if people work with Compass, they get all the exclusive listings.
Right.
Kind of like what Europe do. Europe does that. Sorry, but it's crap. The big offices want to stay, and the little office just doesn't have no hope because all the big offices have the main listings. And so the client at the end of the day is kind of almost stuck to go use the big office.
Yeah.
And would they get the business on both the buy and the sell side?
Yeah, if it's private. Yeah. I've seen those listings.
Yeah.
Where it goes to a Compass agent both ways.
Yeah. And then for a seller like myself, you know, I believe the more people see a listing,
100%.
The more eyes on it, I
100%.
might find that one person that would be willing to pay a lot more than everyone else.
Yes.
But wouldn't I lose that if my house is only being showed to 100%. Everybody who works in one company?
I have so many examples. I could make a case study of all my listing that I sold. I make it exciting. This is for the seller. I represent the seller. I got to do the best for the seller. Mm-hmm. I make it exciting. I create the reel. I put it out there. Everybody comes in one day, and the seller ends up getting more than the property's worth. So that I'm doing a good service for the seller.
That's what we do. That's our job.
And if the buyer's willing to do it, listen, if the buyer's not willing to pay for it, then they won't. Then they will sit and they'll sell a different price.
Right.
But that's our job.
Yeah.
So when you're creating that, not putting it in the public, I think it creates a disservice to the consumer, the seller, but also the buyer. Because the buyer then is limited on his choices. Yeah. Because maybe the buyer does have the extra 20 grand that he wants to pay over what it's worth and he doesn't care. Because he just wants a house.
Let's say their dad is a real estate agent. He trusts his dad with his life.
Listen.
He wants his dad to represent him, and his dad doesn't work at Compass.
Yes. I bought a building right now, a recent building. I probably paid 50 grand more. But I don't care because actually it was private. I got lucky because they know me and they offer it to me. But that building probably should have got a little more money. I was lucky, I still overpaid. But I overpaid, and a lot of buyers would overpay because they see that America bets on real estate and prices go up, and they'll be fine if they're going to live there for the next 10, 20 years.
Yep. I don't know. I had that 4-unit that I discovered before the guy wanted to sell it.
Yes.
We went, we saw it, we ran the numbers.
Yes.
I made the guy an offer, but I told him I told him the truth. I said, "This is what I could pay you, but the reality is you're going to get more on the open market. You just are." And he said, "How much more do you think?" I said, "You're probably going to get 100 grand more than I can pay you." You know, this was a private sale for myself.
Okay.
I wasn't representing anybody. And that was the truth. And, you know, if I had not told him that, or maybe lied or something, I might have maybe convinced him to take 50 or 75,000 less than it was worth because he was trusting me.
Correct.
But the market is the market, and he will be able to get much more than he would from me by just showing it to 10 other people.
I have one couple clients, they really want to get multi-unit from Cumberland area, you know. It's hard to find private or something. I don't know why, probably when we came here from O'Hare.
Nobody wants to sell because they're making money.
Cumberland area really like.
Yeah.
Feels like
it's a Foster, Lawrence.
Exactly, it feels belongs to here, you know.
Yes.
But it's hard to find, but whatever price comes, for long term, we should think about long term. When you get like a stocks, I have stocks, whatever stocks, like Nvidia or Tesla, whatever, go upside down. But for future, if you think long term, you can make money. Here, like, you know, you can rent easily if you got the right spot.
Yes.
You hard to lose money unless you gotta get fired or something. You know.
Listen, if you're 50 and below, stocks and real estate, you gotta think of long term. And however you see it, you're gonna be fine. You know, even if you don't do nothing, and let's say it never goes up in value, but inflation alone, inflation has been happening for the past 100 years worldwide.
Right.
You're gonna be okay. I've seen a lot of old people that came from Turkey or Italia, from Middle East, from everywhere in the world, and they didn't know nothing about real estate. They didn't know how to speak English. Right. They bought a building, they saved, they worked hard, they bought a building, and all of a sudden now they cash flow and it's worth, 10x, right? So if you see it like that, it's good. If you're in your 60s and you're about to retire, I don't know, 65, 70, I don't know, now people live even longer, but then maybe you got to be a little bit more cautious. So, I mean, that's how I see it.
When I came here, $1 was 1.2, 1.3 Turkish lira.
Yes.
Almost equal. 2012. After 13 years passed, right now $1 is almost 40 Turkish lira.
Yeah.
You can see devaluation over there. And then even the value go up, but your money doesn't have much worth, you know what I mean? But okay, if there was no COVID, still America was really, really good about stable economy.
Yes.
And I feel like it's still good. But when I came here, when I have $100 bills, can open most doors, you know? If you show $100 bills, oh wow, like, you know, even they don't want to change your money, like, you know, I don't have a change for that. But right now, okay, $100 bill,
I think they gotta make $200 bills.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when I go to a place, at the doorman, I give him $100. He thinks I'm like a poor guy. You know, I think I'm flashing $100. He thinks I'm nobody. You know, I gotta flash $200 bill. That's what I need.
So we should think about inflation here right now.
Yeah.
Still, some of my clients reach me out. Hey, I want to buy a place and to rent it, but should be equal to your mortgage. No, it's impossible. Right now, it's almost 7% interest rate. But think about long term.
Yes.
You can put a couple $100 from your pocket, but still your money. You're paying interest, but you still cash flow. For future 10 years later, you will be rent more than your mortgage for sure.
I mean, right now, don't get me wrong. If you put no money down, maybe it's really hard to find no money down and you make a little money. That's hard.
That's hard.
That's reality right now. Maybe in Chicago and suburbs, right? Maybe it'll break even, maybe, you know. But if you have some 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, can you make at least 5% on your money? Yes. All day long. 5%, no brainer. On your money, you could make 5% on your money. So that means, let's say you have 100 grand you invest, you could make net 5% every year. I mean, 5,000 after everything is. You're still appreciating. I mean, you're getting all the tax benefits, appreciation. The tenant's paying down your loan, and you're still making 5%. That is true in this market. But the market is crazy, guys. It's it's all over the place. I feel like the world is changing.
And you shave your head every day?
Not every day.
Every couple of days?
Yeah. We'll do story time. I got a funny story that you remind me of.
My hometown?
Yep.
Oh,
Istanbul. So
you're like a travel guy here. You've been everywhere.
12 years ago, 11 years ago, I had this master plan to propose to my wife in Istanbul.
That's cool.
So I got us 2 tickets, and we flew Turkish Airlines. It's an 11-hour flight. It's a long flight.
Sick.
Yep. And we were flying economy, of course. Don't get it twisted.
Hey, let's not go
But they
too
get 2
grand.
meals and free luggage.
Yeah, it was good.
It's still good economy, like
It
a
was
business class, you know.
It's a great airline.
Yeah.
It's a great
It
airline.
really is.
On the way there, we're on the plane, you know, flight, long flight, tired, whatever. We get to Istanbul, we're there for a week. I've been hiding this diamond ring the whole time from my wife, trying to keep her from her, whatever. And we get to the luggage claim at Ataturk, at the airport. And so the bags are coming down. I'm kind of talking to Rosa at the time. And I see our bag coming down the main ramp, down to the, you know, the belt or whatever. And so I just, for some reason, just kind of dash for it. I just wanted to get out of there. So I go through and I'm pushing, and I kind of bump a guy by accident. And I didn't mean to, but I bumped him pretty hard, you know. So I go and I grab
You're a tall guy, so probably.
Yeah, I grab my bag, I pick it up, turn around, and it's the guy I bumped. And he's wearing a trench coat, and short guy, whatever. And he goes, "Hey, how you doing?" You know. And I said, "Oh, I'm good, you know." And I'm looking, whatever, and I look, and it's Mayor Daley.
Wow.
And it was right after he had just left the office, and it went to Rahm Emanuel. And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and of course, fear came across my face. He is the boss. He was the boss at that time. And I just bumped him pretty good. And so I look at him and he goes, I go, "Mayor Daley, how are you?" And he goes, "Good." He puts his hands out and shake. I'm like, "Listen, I'm sorry I bumped into you." He said, "Don't worry about it. What are you here for?" I said, "I'm here to," I told him, "propose my wife."
Wow.
He goes, "Oh, very cool. Is she here?" I said, "Where is she?" I said, "Yeah, she's here."
Wow.
So I brought her over. And Rose is like, "What's going on?" I said, "Come over, you got to meet this guy." She goes, "I don't want to meet nobody." I said, "Come. So I bring her over, and I go, "Rosa, meet Mayor Daley." And he goes, "Hey, how are you?" And nicest guy in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, he asked what we were going to do, asked about our trip, gave us
Really
some
nice.
recommendations.
Nice, very nice.
But it was an interesting time, and it was an interesting experience.
Wow.
Because
very random. Like,
very random, and gosh, luckily he was very gracious. So, speaking of Istanbul,
Did you propose?
I did. Yes, she said yes.
Yeah, I figured that out. I went to a wedding with you this weekend.
Yeah.
So she was there.
Yes, she said yes. But we had a wonderful time in Istanbul. Fantastic city, wonderful place. I'm sure you have a lot of pride being from Turkey.
Oh yeah, that's.
And you know, it's a sister city.
Grand Bazaar is good. You know, good culture over there.
Yes.
Good food.
Yes, great food, great people.
Same food we almost like Mediterranean food. Like it's.
You know, I'm
same culture.
Middle Eastern too. You know, we were there to
Both
eat.
we are both same milk. You know,
A lot of history there.
Palestinian, Italian.
Well, it's one of our sister cities, actually. You know, we have a direct flight there. Anytime we have a direct flight from Chicago to a city, it's considered a sister city of ours. We have a Turkish cultural center a block from our office, right here on Harlem, between Irving and Addison.
Exactly, Taka.
Taka, right?
It's Turkish Atatürk Center.
Yep.
Yes.
Taka is really good. Yeah, it's been a long time over there. They bought this building. Yeah.
I didn't know a lot about it over there.
Yeah, just like I feel like XR brought me to my neighborhood back. That's
Brought you back over.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's.
We have a huge Turkish population here as well.
Oh yeah, it's getting more. Especially Des Plaines, Mount Prospect. There's an Istanbul market, whatever. Restaurants over there. It's
a lot of great food.
And talking about the communities and different people. If you want to do if there's an event, Turkish event, we'd love to set up a tent and
used to be really good Turkish
something,
festival,
dude, for real.
Yeah.
Talk with them. We would love to be in a festival.
Definitely.
I mean, we have some planning.
Speaking of festivals,
we have some in the works.
we have some in the works. I think we're gonna. Carlos will be there.
Yeah, besides the Italian ones, besides the Italian
we're going to be in Humboldt Park for the Puerto Rican
Humboldt
Fest.
Park one.
Yep, that's going to be next month.
I don't want to make it. Yeah, I don't want to make it official, but
it's in the works.
It's looking good.
Yep. We have the Italian festival.
We got Italian. We got a Sicilian barbecue, cookout outside.
Here you go.
Yep. In June we also have a fundraiser.
We have a golf event.
We have a fundraiser for Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Nice.
Yep. And is it Make-A-Wish, right? Or is it Shriners?
Yep.
Make-A-Wish, right?
Make-A-Wish, yeah.
And that's going to be with the Will County Sheriff Department.
Yep.
That's an event we do every year.
Yep.
We're super excited about that one.
That should be good.
And there's just stuff coming. I believe we're going to do something with CPD.
Yeah,
something in the
CPD,
neighborhood.
Norwood Park,
Norwood Park. So
we got it for CPD.
Yes.
Nice.
We have a huge Chicago Police Department here, and Chicago Fire, CFD. We love these guys. We appreciate them. And so a lot of stuff coming.
And imagine next year with the World Cup. Forget about it. We're gonna have
waiting for
games
it.
every day. It's gonna
It'll be good.
XR is gonna become like a cafe. It's like a soccer cafe.
We do watch parties.
We do
I don't know
watch
if
parties.
anybody knows that, but we do watch parties at our office. If you have an agent that works at XR
Yes.
and you have a special country or team in mind,
Yes.
and you'd like us to throw a watch
Whatever.
party at our office, just
perfect,
let that
yeah.
agent know. Let us know. We'll bring the food. We'll bring the drinks. We have a bunch of TVs and the whole seating area, and we'd love to.
What do you
host
guys think? I'm thinking about. So I was thinking about buying a foosball table for the house,
Okay.
but now I'm thinking about just buying one for the office.
Can't go wrong. Maybe get two. Maybe get two. Get a special deal.
Right?
Buy
Yeah.
two. Yeah.
But the original foosball table, you know which one I'm talking about?
Yes, I know.
The one, the Italiano one, the
Exactly,
one from, that's all over Turkey and Italia, not the ones
Even
here.
I was in college. We were playing that, like
All the time.
all the time.
all the time, right?
It's cool, man. The good one.
The good one.
The good one.
I
yeah.
got a contact. We got a contact.
You got to contact.
We should
for one?
definitely get one.
I got a contact. It's coming from Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they make it. They make the
Custom?
real one. Yeah,
Kinda.
they make the real one.
Watch the tariffs on that.
Yeah, no, the tariff, yeah, the President Trump, ruining it.
But we really need that, Greg. It's really good idea,
It'll be good.
Now you're in the business. You're working.
Yeah.
What's been your sell yourself to the camera?
Oh yeah.
I mean, what kind of clients do you think you work well with? What kind of business and markets and neighborhoods do you think is your specialty?
Okay, real estate is a marketing, okay, but at the same time, you have to feel the buyers or sellers.
Yes.
Yes.
And before Greg say trust, so they have to trust you. If they trust you, they're gonna follow your path,
Yes.
and will be easy, smooth transactions.
Where are you living now?
I live in Schaumburg right now.
Schaumburg. Right. So you
Yeah.
know the Schaumburg area very well.
I do. I live in townhouse right now.
You do. You're Hoffman, Palatine.
Oh yeah, I know the area. It's so crazy, multiple offers going on.
And it's crazy you being an Uber driver. You probably know more
Oh, yeah.
neighborhoods and more streets than we
That's
do.
what I was about to tell. When I was driving almost 8 years, I know Inglewood to Lincoln Park, every part of suburbs, everywhere.
Yes.
Different kind of clients.
Yes. But
Gang.
great city all around, right?
CEO, gang members, strippers.
Hey, whoa.
It's just
All right. Let's get
We're talking about the
like
daytime rides, not the nighttime rides. Daytime.
I think right now we're past 10.
Okay.
We could talk about a juicy story.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about a
All
juicy
right.
story.
Right now we can talk.
Can you give us a juicy
Let's
story?
talk about
that's
juicy
what-
story. We want to know a juicy story.
I will keep it really.
Your craziest story at Uber.
I mean, I got, of course, too many crazy stories.
Yes. What comes to mind?
But when I got, business trips, when the rich CEOs, when they were business trips,
Yes.
I catch some of them, hey, ERay, we like you, we're going to gentleman's club.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for us, okay. Then I got, of course, strippers comes with them, but I'm smart guy, I'm not trying to get strippers,
Yeah.
I'm trying to be friend with them.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly, trust, good feelings with them, being as a friend. Then strippers call me, ERay, these CEOs or whatever, they're coming.
The stripper car.
Yes, we're gonna go this event, but you're gonna drive for us. Okay, I'm friend with them.
Yes.
I go to good restaurants, fine dining. Oh my God! One day they call me ERay, they got a boat, yacht. Oh my God! Okay, I'm driving to the parking lot, go have them beer, drinking. 4 strippers, 5 strippers, whatever. They ask all of them, bring
They
them.
pay cash, I'm
Yeah.
guessing. They
Oh,
pay
yeah.
cash, yeah.
And captain say, hey guys, next time I can do free, That's
He had a great time. He had a great time.
I'm a driver, but it's not their friend, what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm cool,
yes.
I got my swimsuit, whatever. Man, we buy the Trump Tower.
Oh, right in the river there.
They started flashing there, twerking. Oh my God, the architecture tour boat. They all looking at not architecture. They
Welcome
looking
to
at us
Chicago.
Hey! They forget about the architecture,
Forget about the architecture.
I mean, architecture, but different sizes and all kinds of stuff,
That's architecture right there. And I got champagne, they good, go to RPM Steakhouse, whatever. One day, another day, call me again. Oh my God. They want to go, of course they want to support their club,
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to Stone Park,
Scores?
Scores.
Yes, of course.
At midnight, $290. We go in the road, local, all police around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My friend, she's stripper, but good my friend. She's kind of a little bit tipsy that time. She go all the way, I have a moonroof. She's go back for, started twerking.
Twerking outside the car.
Oh my, I'm driving. The guy be like, oh yeah, but me like, where's the police? Like, oh my God, I fucked up, you know. I can't, they terminate my visa, I mean, my everything, you know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy, and you know, end of day, fun story.
Yeah.
I got a good enjoyment time, you know.
Yes.
Drop them off safely.
Yes.
That's
you
kind
did a
of my
great
business,
job.
you know. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Of course.
But if you say good celebrities, one day, LeBron James was playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Randomly got Uber SUV order from Four Seasons Hotel, like a 5-minute ride. I pull over there. 3 bodyguards, one of the seat front, 2 of them back. Oh my God, who are them? Like, you know what I mean? The guy, I didn't see LeBron first, with the hood, and he started to talk on the back. I heard that voice before, you know what I mean?
It's got that dark,
God,
deep voice.
Mirror, LeBron. When I understand that he's LeBron James, the bodyguard next to me looking at me like that, you know what I mean? Oh my God, I'm like driving like the most expensive players in my car to the RPM Steakhouse. Okay, you know, like let me drive. Okay, I'm good. I don't want to take a picture. Okay, no worries. Like, you know. Oh man, it's just, you know, too many.
Yeah, but you learn how to deal with situations.
Exactly, you know,
how to respect people's privacy.
That's
keep
true.
a secret. These are all great things to be a real estate agent.
Too many gossips around, you know, like too many gossips, like too many crazy gossips.
There's real so what languages do you speak? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
What languages do you speak?
Turkish.
Speak Turkish and English. Awesome. So if we have someone who speaks Turkish.
Yeah.
You're our guy.
I'm that guy. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, XR is multicultural.
I think we have Spanish.
Yep.
Russian.
Polish.
Turkish.
Little
Arabic.
And from all over the world.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
That's the nice part.
South America, North America,
different
Asia.
part of South America. Yeah.
We're becoming really diverse, which I think reflects on the neighborhood.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That's America.
It's America.
United States
and
of America.
And I love that XR is becoming that because it's, you know, as Greg came up with the name, the idea was the X Factor.
Yeah.
So you are now an X Factor for your own business.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
You work at XR, but really,
it's
you're working for yourself.
I mean,
you're branding yourself. You're doing your thing.
That's true.
We're just here to support you and have a good time.
Very friendly, very fun, very active. You know, it just feel like this is an opportunity for me.
Yes.
When Greg didn't give me official job offer, then I talked with Greg. He said, you know, you can be here, good fit for you this place. You know.
Right.
I never think like it 2 times. I say yes, but in the beginning. You know, let me think, Greg. You know, I got this opportunity. Let me, you know.
No, I get it.
You know, but in the beginning, I say yes. You know, I go to home and say my wife. You know, I got this. Hey, that's good for you. You wanna be there. You know what I mean? So you got it. You know, just you know.
Yeah. Awesome,
hopefully, I will have a good story. It's gonna be a good journey here. You know.
We're happy. We're
so
happy
excited. So excited.
We're happy here too.
Happy to have
we will make XR really good one everywhere.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yes. It's gonna be good.
Yes. And pronounced name is ERay.
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 But Americans say ERay.
Because when they look at, when Americans gonna look at your spelling of your name.
When I call like a neighborhood, they call me E.
They call you E.
All right,
Okay.
I have 2 names. My first name Nurettin, from my grandfather's name.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Nurettin is very old name. Okay. But American can't say so easy. Nurettin. ERay is like my middle name, more modern. But they cannot say ERay. They say ERay.
Guys, we talked, I mean, it was a great podcast.
Yes,
always
a great time.
We went over all the subjects. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
I'm happy you participated too.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And we're going to do many more.
Yes.
One of many.
We'll do a follow-up in a year with you, huh?
Oh,
one of many.
That's
one of
many. Have some more stuff. Yeah. Maybe you can take me to Turkey and get me some hair.
Yeah,
easier.
I can't
give me a discount.
I can't see you with hair now. I don't know.
I used to have hair.
Okay, let me tell my story about Pro.
Okay, there we go.
Tell it.
I got like a booked like a helicopter. Okay.
Wow.
That helicopter gonna be land from the Schaumburg all the way Chicago tour, 45 minutes ride.
Wow.
On the picture, helicopter looks really good. But was a December, keep delaying, My brother-in-law is a pilot. I want him to join us, but he couldn't make it. So my mother-in-law joined us, okay?
Oh, nice.
Was a December, so cold. They are fancy. Okay, we go into Schaumburg. The helicopter looks like a drone, so small, like you know, like oh my gosh, the guys. All right, we go all the way up. He told me there is no heat working. The helicopter doesn't have a heat.
Where'd you get this is a Groupon or something?
I don't know, probably. But I pay really good, but keep delaying. I shouldn't push that much, you know, because of the weather, foggy, rainy, December time. Anyways, man, we go up. Oh my God, it's more chilly. Oh man. I just say, like, this helicopter, there is an engine between us, my wife, and here, you know. I mean, my mother-in-law in the front. He's a book, Quran, you know, like praying for us, like, you know.
We're gonna land.
You know, and my wife saying, "Okay, I got your plan. Just tell me. I'm so cold here, you know. I mean,
I'm freezing.
Yeah, just propose already.
just propose. I would say yes then." Oh my God!
That's what you did. You froze you froze
So we're not gonna land until you say yes.
Royal John Hancock Center, we are like a freeze, like, oh my, Wrigley, this is Wrigley. We
Man,
get permission.
that's a good real estate skill.
We got permission from traffic, air traffic. Okay, you guys can go by the Wrigley. Oh my God, we're freezing here. Just let us go. You know, I want to go back Schaumburg. You know.
Man, well, that was a good idea.
Nice, man.
Yeah, that's nice. Very nice. Yeah.
It's fine. In 10 years, you do the renewal of Oz, but this time you do it in the summer.
Yep.
All
I
right.
have to do that sometime. Yeah.
Well, I think that wraps it up.
I think that wraps it up, guys.
Yep. Thanks
great.
again for joining us, man. Joining the team. We're happy
Salute
to
to
have
you guys.
Salute.
Salute.
Salute to you guys, and we'll finish our cigar. And episode 48 is
It's a wrap.
it's a wrap.